Ooh. Hello, everybody. What's up? First and foremost, go subscribe to my other channel. It's technically my main channel now. I'm gonna link that in the description. I'm just gonna keep linking that in the description because that channel is gonna be very important. You guys are definitely gonna like it. I'm gonna be uploading song reactions, album reactions, a bunch of stuff. And yeah, man, go subscribe to that. But in the meantime, we got a Billboard breakdown. I'm late as hell. I was at a cousin's house for a pretty long time, so I just couldn't make any videos. So I'm just hella late on this July 13th. I'm reacting to this on July 21st. So I got some catching up to do. Yeah, man. Billboard breakdown Hot 100 July 13, 2024. Cowboys cry 2 girls hot. Uptown Rockstar Toby. Let's go.
Hey there, I'm Mark in affiliation with Spectrum Pulse, and dear God, this week's a mess. And it's Bill.
Wait, hold on. Oh, okay, my bad. I had to check if this is the right one. I had to check if I was watching the right one. It is the right one.
God, this week's a mess, and it's Billboard breakdown. Alright, truth be told, I've had enough longer weeks in a row now that I don't have any expectation that the Hot 100...
That 27 minutes, my man! I didn't even look at the time. 27 minutes? Long episode.
Easy. And considering that we likely have a Zach Bryan album bomb next week, the thought remains the same. I'm still gonna complain a little about it, though.
John Mayer!
Finish off. Billboard breakdown requiring those extra few hours of work every single week. It's exhausting, but hey, at least it's gonna be interesting, right? Well, alright, let's start out with the top 10 and the new number 1 that I
bar song.
predicted.
Everybody in the bar getting tipsy.
Would have seen this coming. A bar song, Tipsy by Shabuzi, has taken the top spot. And really, it's one of the rare examples of everything coming together
got a
at
Birkin.
the right time. Sales are top.
No, my baby wants a Birkin.
Serious muscle was thrown behind his radio, and he topped the charts on streaming. One of the rare cases where someone is dominant across the board, and it took a while to get there, and with their lead-off single. It's the sort of thing that has me feeling a little bit crazy that we aren't seeing a push for more songs out of him.
That's what I was about to say. Like, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure, didn't he drop an album? I heard nothing about that, bro. I'm pretty sure I saw him do a review on it. I didn't see anyone talk about the album at all, so I don't know. You guys getting one-hit wonder vibes, or what? What are we getting here?
That there hasn't
what do you guys think?
More discussion of Shabuzi in general. He's got
that's what I was saying.
Album that's really good. Where very
what I just said. I don't know if it's good. I haven't listened to it.
Get not cannibalizing one's momentum. Let It Burn is right there, ready to go. Come on, people. Now, anyway, it beat out I Had Some Help by Post Malone featuring Morgan Wallen, despite its cementing radio dominance with an uptick on sales. But it just couldn't beat out the streams in the end, so it slid back to number 2. Then we got Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar holding steady at number 3, which slipped off the very top on streaming and seems like it may have peaked on the radio. I think the only reason it did as well as it did was because material around Kendrick was falling back. Case in point being Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter at number 4, who lags him considerably on streaming.
Thinking about me every night, oh, it's so sweet, espresso.
Then we got $1 Million.
That's that me espresso.
Number 5, which is actually picking up a spot because its streaming is ridiculously consistent and the radio growth is holding steady. And that was enough to jump over Please, Please, Please,
Please,
which
don't
might be
that
moving
right.
streaming, but it did slip a little there and just has so much ground to cover to catch up on that radio margin. And the next 3 songs, just like last week,
it's the white people songs. Oh, never mind. This isn't the white people song. I'm talking about like Lose Control, Beautiful Things, yeah. The white dude songs.
On sales and it's slipping into radio freefall after a brief stabilization, and Lose Control by Teddy Swims at number 9.
How is this here?
A bit of an edge over Benson.
How is this here? Why?
And man, this is good to see. Breaking into the top 10, we got Good Luck.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
At number 10,
Hey.
this is actually an interesting case because...
Guys, I have a confession. I'm starting to really like this song. Song has kind of won me over a little bit. Don't know if it's best of year material, but this song and Casual, especially those Trident edits. If you guys know, you know. If you know, you know. The Trident edits with Casual by Chaperone in the background. I'm just saying that shit's fire, bro. I can't lie.
Because she does
Fire.
have some radio to push alongside the streaming, but I'm not sure how consistent it all looks. A lot of Chapel Roan's hype has been generated off of that streaming. The bigger question will be how that translates to channels that will demand more label attention, aka the radio. Especially
fuck you, radio. Play that.
That are slipping into
Come on.
the line.
Play that song.
They can actually capitalize on it, but it also naturally takes us to our losers and dropouts, which, of course, the big story here is Texas Hold'em by Beyonce finally stepping out and comfortably clinching its year-end list position, alongside Guilty as Sin by Taylor Swift and Bandit by Don Toliver falling out yet again. They're falling well short.
I was gonna say, I thought that was gonna be on the year end. I was like, what, bro?
Losses with Down Bad at 82, and Who's Afraid a Little
Down Bad crying at the gym.
Highlighting that her song with Gracie Abrams, Us, that debuted last week, just crashed down to 74, alongside her cut Close to You that fell to 79.
Close to you.
From last week,
Pulled the trigger on the gun I gave you when we met.
75, Girl So Confusing by Charlie XCX and Lord at 99, and in its wild journey up and down the charts, The Boy Is Mine by
This is weird, yeah.
lost all its gains again and fell hard to 53.
Damn.
Then we had the Billie Eilish album losses, Chihiro at 65, Wildflower at 85, and L'amour de ma vie at 98. And from there, kind of all over the place. Euphoria by Kendrick Lamar seeing the steady drop off at 54. Sweet Dreams.
That's definitely gonna hit the year end.
Continues to lose at 80. After Hours by Kehlani saw all of its gains evaporate at 84. And Remember Him This Way by Luke Combs sadly saw more losses to 91. I honestly thought that might have a
Mid
little power, but okay. What's filling in the gaps? Well, can't make much of the returns with Wondering
Pink
Why.
Pony Club.
Once again back at 100.
I don't even remember how that song sounds like.
Getting a remix with Jeezy with a video to return to 72.
Jeezy?
But
Wait.
the gains appear to be a little more
Jeezy, like G-Eazy? Or Jeezy?
interesting outside of Pink Pony Club by Chapel Roan, of course, just continuing to climb at 56 because they're all
casual clears
last week that gained traction, and man, I wish they were better because while it's cool, You Look Like You Love Me by Elle Langley featuring Riley Green is seeing industry attention rising to 36, and you know, I'm fine with TGIF by Glorilla up to 28 because I like her and I like the traction. Did it really need to throw any attention to Kehlani by Jordan Adetunji?
I like that song.
52 while actively snubbing Kehlani, and more egregious.
Man, who cares about Kehlani, bro? She had like 7 years to get popular, bro. Who cares, bro? I don't even know if that's true. I'm just making stuff up. I don't even know. I'm just lying. I don't know.
Like this by Kid Laroi getting any attention at all at 47. I know he's picking up streaming, but seriously, his is not a career that needed a second wind. But unfortunately, speaking of some of that, we got to get to our new arrivals, which is a pretty healthy list, and we're unfortunately starting with number 96, I Don't Want to Wait by David Guetta and One Republic.
This is the shit that Looks99 be spamming on Twitter. I'm talking about this song. There's like a couple songs you always be talking about. This one is one of them. And I can see why this shit is ass. Yeah. Alright. Like, this shit is ass. This shit better not get popular, bro. Please.
I can't tell you just how much my stomach sank when I saw we were starting off with this. Do we really need another interchangeable sample or the continued degradation of any shred of One Republic's remaining reputation? And surprise, surprise, we've got that. although it might take you a little bit more to recognize what is actually due to that interpolation, that being the Ozone track,
Numa, yeah.
Numa song, aka didn't Rihanna already do this back in 2009 with Live Your Life? David Guetta's relevance was on the come up, but at least before, the sample had some verve to it, not pushed through the clunky, overcompressed mix, the underpowered percussion, or every other signifier that heralds this mix as being one of the Red One's leftovers from the club boom. And of course, Ryan Tedder has nothing to add here. The sort of utterly vacant party song where he's not as annoying as he can be, but he's got no real personality as a result. The most I can say is that David Guetta has weaponized more annoying samples than this in recent times. This is probably his most disposable of the EDM crossovers he's attempted in recent years.
Shout out to his family.
To know somebody's surprise, it's not good. Next, number 95, Toby by Eminem, Big Sean, and Babytron.
You take your helmet off soon as you get up to Venus and choke. Even while sleeping, be thinking so woke. White Cardi.
DJS remix better.
Years, all I'm seeing is dope. My city Leia and I'm Obi-Wan, got a mission to pass. I just might be the hope.
So I've largely ignored talking about the fact that Houdini is sticking around in the top 20. I bet some of you didn't even realize that, but it's got radio traction now. Or that there's a very real possibility Eminem will get an album bomb after when that drops this Friday. In the meantime, he's teaming up with Big Sean and Babytron, the latter of whom I'm less familiar with, but he's out of Michigan.
Babytron?
Some buzz. It's probably why he's on the hook and the first verse of this song.
So I know that's how I know you a little unky. You're a little unky, Mark. Babytron been popping all over TikTok. Really, I wouldn't say a TikTok artist, but like if you like are in like the rap community on TikTok, you would know who Babytron is. Definitely. It's just, I would say he's pretty popular.
And with this, you know what?
I don't really care for him though, really. Can't lie.
But unfortunately not because of Eminem. Dude, I get you being concerned about your legacy at this point of your career. But aside from no longer being in my personal top 5 list, and that just went back around summer 2018, you shouldn't care about anybody's stupid top 5 list, especially one from Billboard. And the reason that everyone told you to not shoot back at Melly Mel, because it was sad and embarrassing. The same reasons we all wanted Freddie Gibbs and Benny the Butcher to stop fighting. It's just sad. When you're over 50, you should be better than this. And you know, while I'm complaining here, the production's kind of iffy. The creeping bombast honestly reminded me a lot more of NF's production than it really should.
That's actually true. I can't lie.
All the way to that cinematic self-parody, but that's because there's a bunch of sizzling electric guitars rammed in that don't really flatter anyone. Not helped by whenever Eminem keeps jamming more words into his verse and the double time does not fit well within the pocket. Now, thankfully, I actually think Babytron and Big Sean largely saved this. Babytron's hook is nerdy, but
pretty
it's
good.
well structured enough. And while the come up
Must have been bit by a goat.
That's special. His delivery is methodical enough to make it work. And you know what? I can't believe I'm saying this, but Big Sean easily has the best verse here. I can tell he was very frustrated to see his new music get stepped on and overshadowed by the larger beef in hip hop this past spring. So between those,
bro, this nigga Big Sean, bro, he's trying to insert himself in the fucking Kendrick beef and shit. Like, bro, who is putting on a Big Sean song in 2024? Crazy.
Good music, and then
who is genuinely listening to Big Sean in 2024?
Bars are reasonably solid.
That is
sort of driving
delusional.
As somebody looking to reestablish presence in the mainstream, this would be how you do it. So, yeah, you know what? I don't think it all works, but it is decent. I like it more than Houdini, so I'll take it.
I wonder what the old me say.
By Bailey Zimmerman. I might be running out of patience for Bailey Zimmerman. He's
mid.
I really like, don't get me wrong.
Mid.
Showed me the hard limit of his sound, and when the buzz around this was not good, I had a sinking feeling. And unfortunately, it was justified, as this reminds me way too much of the swaggering, macho side of bro country that relies a lot on sterile rock posturing in the guitars, no real groove to support the underpowered drums and drum machines, don't try to sneak that past me, and a rap pattern that doesn't feel that country country at all, highlighting that no matter where he is, he's not new to country. And then insert your grab bag of bro country cliches. And Baby Zimmerman is 24. When he was a teenager, he actually heard that first wave of bro country. He was there. But posturing like that, it's trying to sell some veneer of authenticity that I don't buy, because I was old enough to remember when bro country last happened, and it wasn't exactly all that authentic, depending on the angle. But what I think bugs me most about here is that the vocals sound really badly blended. The mix is already sour and somewhat minor key, but with no credible weight to it. But Zimmerman's nasal squawk does not fit well at all. It needs a little bit more smolder to be complimented, but the hook's way too polished. So yeah, this isn't good at all, and his wheel is running out in record time. Skip it. Number 88, Smeraldo Garden Marching Band by Jimin and Loco.
I love you, play.
Yes, sir.
I want you, play. I wanna hold your hand. I want you, play.
Okay, I'm gonna try to add context. You probably recognize Jimin from BTS, but Loco might be unfamiliar. He's a South Korean rapper, has been active since the late 2010s with a decent number of EPs and projects, and this song was being described as a kind of tongue-in-cheek in contrast between the bombastic instrumental and the rapping. I'm honestly not sure I would have picked up where the joke is. I mean, if you translate the lyrics, it seems like a pretty stock love song, maybe a bit oversold, or any real degree of sarcasm in the delivery, but that might be more because of the production. And you know, I'll just say it, this is Jimin taking production cues from AJR, the pitch.
That's a pretty good comparison, I can't lie. It does sound like AJR, bro.
Vocal that opens up the song and won't go away. The lockstep.
That's tragic. Absolutely tragic, bro.
The only thing I'll actually give it is having a somewhat credible bass line, and that is not saying much. On a pure sonic level, I don't like this at all. It gave me a migraine on the first listen. And while I'm willing to accept I am missing part of the joke here, the instrumental is obnoxious enough I have no desire to go back. And given how much BTS-related acts have relied on heartfelt sincerity, if this is trying to be a piss take, it's not one I find insightful or remotely charming. In other words, it's bad. Let's move on.
There has to be something lost in translation there. I don't know. There has to be something.
Where Them Girls At by Megan Thee Stallion.
It's kind of... Why does this remind me of that one Nicki Minaj song? I can't remember which one. It was from her new album. I don't know which song it's reminding me of. Maybe Mark will say it.
So I already reviewed Megan Thee Stallion's newest project, Megan, on my main channel. Probably her best since Tina Snow. It's really good. It's worth hearing. Check out my review. But thus I find it interesting and a little frustrating that we didn't exactly get any of the best songs on that album to chart in the mini album bomb she got this week. We'll get more into those in a little bit, but this is probably the best of them, and I'm not sure it's saying much. In short, it's a minimalist strip club joint with a huge bass, tooting synth, and blast of horns that's liberally sampling Missouri-based rapper Key Stylist, where I really wish the trap percussion had the texture the clattering snare that ends off the hook had. And sure, Meg can sell this in her sleep. She's hot, she wants to dunk on all the haters as she parties, and she's not exactly interested in playing nice. Which is why the hook doubles as a shout out to those haters who won't show their faces with credible bars. Of course I'm talking about Nicki Minaj, and judging by Nicki's most recent social media meltdown, there may be something to that. But honestly, there's barely anything else to this song. It's effective in what it's trying to be, but Meg can be a lot more interesting than just playing in this lane or do more with it. Although, given what her fans chose to push this week, it caught me a little off guard. We'll get to that.
I already know.
The sort of banger having a little bit more swagger and low-end bass. It feels very mid-2000s to me, but let's be real, everyone here has done better. Just okay. Number 70, Rockstar by Lisa.
Sorry. She bad though.
Please give me one chance, please.
Still trying to make Lisa a thing outside of Blackpink, especially given that she's crossed over more on the global charts and she needs to do something while the girl group is negotiating their next contract with YG Entertainment. But I still kind of am surprised, mostly because it feels like she hasn't had that consistent charting presence stateside as of yet, especially compared to other solo.
Yeah, not really. But I mean, she had money, right?
But this is
Money,
big solo
dropping
chart.
on my
It's her
money.
first big single in around 3 years, where apparently she has her own deal with RCA. Yikes. And the song... Okay, you know what? I think I pinned down the issue. Because when members of BTS break away from the group, they try to establish and assemble sounds that differentiate themselves from it, for better, or to see this week, for worse.
Yeah, wait.
Meanwhile,
This does sound like a Blackpink song. Like I could see Blackpink like had like the beat and shit. I think I get what he's gonna say here.
is delivering the solo version of another Blackpink song.
Yeah, I get. Yeah.
Peak rapping and
Now thinking about it, this is really a Blackpink song, just one person.
Train wreck of song construction. I mean, this track's barely 2 minutes long, but manages to start off with that painful dying synth, a swerve into trap where the percussion sounds imported from a tin can, then swerve into these gleaming, borderline hyperpop chords, and then tries for this swaggering outro, and I'm left thinking that all this needs a little bit more than just the skeleton of an idea. Give some of this some room to breathe. So, you know, maybe it's not a total mess, but I'm also flagrantly not the audience for this, where I can't remotely buy into the swag. Let's just move on. Number 68, Mamushi by Megan Thee Stallion featuring Yuki Chiba. And speaking of cuts where I know I'm absolutely not the target audience, I'll admit to being rather shocked that of the two songs that crossed over were Meg indulging her anime fangirl weeaboo side. Not saying it's a bad thing.
Mark, you're really showing your age, man. This guy said weeaboo in 2024. That is crazy. Hold on, I'll be back. Weeaboo in 2024. Jesus. Mark, we love you. We love you. You're really showing your age here. Weeaboo, which is like 2013 type terminology in that bit. No? This is like bro, I haven't heard someone say weeaboo in such a long time, bro. I remember like Filthy fucking Frank talking about weeaboos. Hey, it's okay. It's okay, Mark. You know, we love you, man. Weeaboo is crazy. Weeaboo.
Been looking for more diverse and interesting angles around Meg Thee Stallion, and her unabashedly nerdy love for this, it's intriguing. Just, man, I wish it translated to better music. In this case, I'm not sure any of this really works. The piano line around the underpowered percussion feels incredibly
It's alright.
stiff,
It's just
not
okay.
helped by how Meg repeats the word star on the hook, and Japanese rapper Yuki Chiba, I'm sorry, I don't hear the appeal whatsoever. He sounds so bored here, and when translated, the flex of his rhymes feel painfully generic. But what might frustrate me most is Meg's Japanese, and that she comes across like she's really trying to pronounce everything absolutely perfectly, that she's carefully studied all of it, and her swagger just kind of evaporates compared to the verse, which feels a lot more comfortable. I mean, it's got the feel of being a fan that's trying a little bit too hard in a niche space, and as someone who can recognize that tendency in and of himself, yeah, I bounce off it hard, just doesn't work at all for me. Not the worst, but I'm not sure I'm going back to it. Number 67, Otaku Hot Girl by Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion really got Mark Grondin researching Jujutsu Kaisen in this bit. Jesus Christ, that's sad. He's like, who's Gojo?
We get part 2 of all this, which thankfully is less of Meg trying to speak in Japanese and more just leaning into the anime references, specifically to Naruto and Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm only familiar with the former in passing.
Guys, that's like Canadian pronunciation or something. Oh. Yeah, guys, chill out. I don't know. That has to be like Canadian pronunciation. Hopefully. What did he say?
Thankfully is less of Meg trying to speak in Japanese and more just leaning into the anime references, specifically to Naruto and Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oof. Hey, I know. Okay, now I don't want to be one of those dudes that's like, actually, it's Jujutsu Kaisen. No, I don't want to be like that. No, I can't be like that. I can't be like that. Sorry, I can't. Because I remember. Wasn't they? Weren't they on Mark's ass for saying like Billie Eilish wrong or something? He was saying like Billy something. I forgot what he was saying, but people were really on his ass for that. I don't want to be annoying, man. Hey, he doesn't need to know the pronunciation.
I'm only familiar with the former in passing, and the latter not really at all. I'm not an anime person on any consistent degree, so with this song, I'm not coming at this from any anime snob perspective, especially as she's just using these references to reinforce her flex. In fact, my favorite lines of the song come at the end of the first verse, where she disses the incel/anime avatar social media dipshits who love to pile on anyone they don't think is authentic.
Bro, fuck the anime community, bro. No, I actually like... I watch AniWatch, bro. I use AniWatch. I'm never paying for anime. Like, if you pay for anime, you are like a cuck, bro. I can't even lie. But reading those comments on those websites, bro, it's just actually just like brain dead people, bro. I swear, like, just like, bro, how are there so many homophobic anime fans? Anime is like one of the gayest fucking media that you can consume, bro. Like, your peak literally has men dressing up as girls all of the time. Your peak literally has mountains and mountains of incest. Like, I'm not really gonna go deep into that, but like, these people are actually weird, bro. Cause I literally see on my timeline people like. If you guys watch, what was it called? Aaliyah, like, what was her name? Isla or something, confesses her feelings in Russian, whatever that name is. I'm barely even watching that. If you guys saw that, bro, his sister is literally braless on top of her brother talking about, oh, you're gonna get a boner. And these people are like, oh yeah, I wish I had a sister like that. Bro. These fucking anime degenerates, bro, just incestial, degenerate monster human beings, bro. Like, actually, like, this is why even though anime has definitely become more mainstream, bro, there's just always gonna be those people like, oh, anime sucks, bro, because like, look at these people. And I mean, yeah, like, there are definitely some degenerates, even though there are degenerates in a lot of online fandoms, but. It's just how it is at the end of the day, man. Like, bro, anime fans, a lot of them just brain dead people. I can't lie.
In their hobbies,
brain dead.
Often because it's a bunch of teenage white boys with a healthy dose of racism and sexism on top of it. Don't even try to deny it doesn't happen. I've seen and heard it. I've been in these spaces longer than some of you have been alive.
And these motherfuckers. Oh, okay. Whoa. Mark, chill out, bro. This guy went after me. He probably... after me in that sentence, no?
And sexism on top of it. Don't even
racism, homophobia too, bro. Just people love watching that incest shit. Like, bro, I fucking every time, bro, in these anime. Like, every time I try to get into anime, I'm like, I go in there and like, bam, bro, the dude, like, his sister is in love with him and shit and trying to like fuck him. It's just so like so annoying, bro.
The song never really expands on targeting them beyond just Meg's usual flexing routine against that twinkling piano. That actually picks up a pretty cool reversal against that rattling trap beat. But I guess it is cool how she expands the Naruto metaphor for those who are trying to then copy her style, and highlights how really so many folks that cluster around them, they're not their fans. They're just anti-Megan. And that's often true of that brand of online grifter. So as a whole, again, the anime thing doesn't really work for me, but it doesn't make it so much bad as, again, just not for me. If you're more on the wavelength, you'll probably have more fun with it. It's fine.
Yeah, but I wouldn't return to it. I don't even like
Uptown by Camila Cabello featuring Drake.
It's alright.
Okay, let's be real. This is only charting because folks are perversely curious what the hell Drake was even doing on the Camila Cabello album.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why does he have 2 features in that bed?
Slow down and take a look. Quite frankly, I'm very grateful that nothing else from the album charted this week, mostly because the general buzz around said album is rightly bad. It's a bad project. I mean, we're not past hate listening as a culture, but at least in this specific case, it makes my job easier, especially when this just plain sucks. I've seen folks argue that this this is the path that Drake should take to reestablish his career. Deliver the summer slap, go back to the formula that works for him, that he arguably ran into the ground in the mid to late 2010s. But I'm sorry, the second the patois came on, I was done, because it proved he had learned nothing from the cultural conversation that Kendrick Lamar was hammering, to the point where he references Hotline Bling in the first verse. How he appropriated that song too, I remember it. But that's the obvious stuff. Alongside the watery fragment passing as a melody around the faster skitter of the textured percussion, I'm sorry, the groove is just too quick with this, and when the delivery is otherwise so low-key between them, it doesn't fit well at all, nor does how overprocessed Camila Cabello's voice is. So naturally we get to the content, which is trying to have Drake and Camila Cabello flirt off at each other as two exes, but then Drake tries to get on his dirty macking for whoever Camila's new partner is, which in the context of Shawn Mendes being in the picture on the album at all, it's fucking weird. Dude, I've been saying this for weeks now. Drake, squash your messiness in Toronto. This'll go over a lot easier for you. So as someone who is lukewarm at best on Drake's tropical gallivanting, this is a phoned-in cash grab to hit by whatever means necessary for both acts. And I don't think it's gonna work, because it really sucks. Next, number 51, Girls by Kid Laroi.
Oh, no. Here comes the hating, bro. Like, ugh. I like this song. This is a good song, bro. Come on. He's trying something a little different. Come on, Mark Ronda. You know, at least, you know what I'm saying?
I just wanna get some. Girls wanna summer with their friends, wanna do it to their ex and then get the job done. Girls just wanna dance. Girls just wanna have fun.
Okay, stop. We don't need this either. I thought last week was a fluke, but now I'm not remotely sure of that because this was apparently targeted as the single from his next project. So what better way to get folks talking about the Kid Laroi again than riding some resurgent TikTok hype, because most of that platform hasn't realized how easily they can be manipulated yet. I see what the industry's doing, but somehow this just gets...
They're never gonna realize how easily they can be manipulated.
Cray, who is in a relationship with a Kid Laroi, with this song partially taking aim at her ex, the NHL hockey player Cole Sillinger. Oh my god, he's gonna play for the Columbus Blue Jackets and then deal with this crap? Gross. So okay, the song. Who the fuck told Kid Laroi is capable of trying to make a mid-2000s Justin Timberlake song, borrowing Justin Bieber's vocals but with a lot less tact or talent? Because I actually kinda dig the production, with the grimy synth playing off the strings and pianos and the elegance that stands in stark contrast with that popping rattle of the groove. I mean, on that basis alone, I can imagine it being a pop hit. Thank John Bellion on production for that. But then you give it to the walking non-charisma of Kid Laroi, where he's highlighting how girls just want to have fun. And he's clearly the guy to have it with them, given that her ex apparently cheated. I mean, I don't know how true that is, and I got better things to do than troll the gossip columns to verify it. But hearing it come out of Kid Laroi's deadbeat delivery, it does not inspire...
Deadbeat? What? No, deadbeat, nah.
I don't really like this. The production has just enough flair to nail that throwback 2000s vibe. I imagine it's gonna work. I mean, it's not good per se, but if it becomes a hit, I don't think I would be surprised. Just saying. And finally, number 50, Cowboys Cry 2 by Kelsey Ballerini and Noah Kahan.
We really ended it off with this Born Eye.
You know, I don't want to say that Kelsey Ballerini was my big hope this week, especially when pairing her with Noah Kahan, but she did put out one of the best projects of last year that never got the proper attention it deserved, so okay, I had expectations, and thank God we got there with a really goddamn good song. In essence, it's trying to make a point about toxic masculinity. A lot of the guys...
Skyline Chili!
...hard front, and then they might do so. Show some empathy, then highlight how it doesn't make them any less masculine to show more vulnerability, or make them any less attractive to a partner, which is a detail I really like that they included because it speaks to a pretty deep... That's with Noah Kahan as the duet partner here, because there is a part of me that wishes that Kelsey Ballerini got a more stereotypical Nashville guy for this part, where the contrast might have had a more poignant resonance. But then you have to wonder which of them would have been willing to do it with her, and the reality that Noah Kahan might lead to more overall crossover. I get it. And it also helps they got really good vocal chemistry. The harmonies on the final chorus are really quite nice. And Noah Kahan then getting into the realities of hard living, learning from his father's bad experience, or the relationships that don't work enough that drive men to put up those walls for better and for worse. And when you add in the fiddle and the pedal steel alongside the heavier twang of the guitars, even if I think Ballerini's vocals are a little bit more processed than I would personally prefer, alongside some of the whooshing effects on the bridge that I don't think are really needed, this could have been just more organic overall. But yeah, it's excellent. I was going to give it much attention if the streaming doesn't take off.
Girls clears.
Because the difficult examination
Unlucky.
of masculinity
How unlucky,
kind
bro.
of undermines.
Can't believe the Killer clears it all.
But man, I hope I'm wrong. If you haven't heard it, give it a proper shot.
I have heard it.
Great. And you know what? On a pretty rough week, it's running away with the top spot. Best of the week. Honorable mention going to, yeah, I guess Toby by Eminem, Big Sean, and Baby.
That's crazy.
Worst of the week, you know, I was inclined to give it to Hot Uptown by Camila Cabello and Drake, but it's
that Jimin song.
Honorable mention, mostly because on some level,
The marching band thing.
Vibe where it's vaguely playable. Unlike Smeraldo Garden Marching Band by Jimin and Loco, which on production alone clinch this spot
Shit.
even before we get to the conceptual incoherence. It's a headache and a half. Thankfully, next week we'll probably have Zach Bryan running the table.
Oh, look at him right here.
See it. Stay tuned. But until then,
Girls just want to have
you're watching
fun.
Billboard Breakdown,
Girls just want to dance.
and I'll see you next time.
Hey, W videos always, man. My grinding always.
Grinding, making the W vids.
Yeah. Okay week, I guess. Girls cleared all those songs, by the way. How unlucky. Thank you for watching, guys. Go subscribe to Spectre Post. Go subscribe to Billboard Breakdown. Go follow Mark Garner on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Skies, Tumblr, DeviantArt, Instagram Reels. Go follow him everywhere. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.